I knew him since I was 5. And this is my sister Pamela. So anybody can go next.
I'm Paul Nichols. Knew Phil for a long, long time from mayoral assistant years, and we lived together. He was my roommate at Francis Court at Row House down by the railroad yard in Madison. And I continued knowing him. We moved to Fort Atkinson, and that's my story.
I'm Carl, his brother, friend, comrade, and caretaker. Caregiver.
I'm Paul. I met Phil when he was a mayoral assistant to Soglin back in the 80s. Phil and I worked on several major projects together, and he was the idea guy, I was the finance guy. But one thing I always admired about Phil, in a heated debate, he never relied on a loud voice or yelling or anger. Logic and reasoning, and that was level-headed all the time. I admired the man.
I'm Satchel. I'm Kitty's son, Pam's nephew, I guess. Also kind of a nephew to these guys. And I've known Phil all my life. He definitely was a character, and liked to flag me down for math lessons at inconvenient times during my childhood. But you know, nevertheless, and he was an ideas man. That's true. He had lots of ideas, and was not planning to help me manifest the ideas he had for me. You know, just coffee shops in the basement and stuff like that. But nevertheless, pot roasts, cardamom coffee cakes, very, very serious Scrabble games, and just just a constant character in my life that raised me in a bunch of different ways.
We grew up with Phil in McQuantigo. His mother was a school teacher. My kids also were telling me that Phil taught them when they were 4 and 5, so they learned new math way before other kids knew math.
Oh yeah.
And then my daughter was a mountain biker, and Phil used to bike with her.
Oh yeah.
More recently. So.
Yep.
He was a big deal in your generation.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah, definitely, and a really dear friend to Grandma. I mean, had a lot of good conversations with
Well, when Phil liked to play Scrabble, you remember the big dictionary?
Well,
I think you could make up any word you wanted to, and
Grandma.
you'd
I felt
find
the
it
same
in
way.
that
It's like, wait
dictionary.
a second, you know. Anyway, but he was a smarty pants.
But he would cheat. He would cheat at Scrabble. I caught him cheating more than once. Made up words.
Phil could cheat, and also he took pride in being an expert rumor monger.
Those are your years, Phil.
I'm Karen. I'm his neighbor, and like the last 8 years, we were really good friends. I was telling him the first time I saw it. Well, I knew him through Carolyn, just a little bit. He was laying under a tree and looking up. I thought he'd had a stroke or a heart attack or something. I went over and asked if he was okay, and he says, "No, I'm just looking through the trees." So I said, "Well, have you ever seen me like that? Call the ambulance." But spontaneously would show up at the door, ring the bell, say, "Okay, we're going." I never knew where we were going, how far we were going, when we would get back, and that is so not me. So he was good for me, and it was good for him, like, to have somebody good. I did not know Wisconsin, so that was his goal, like, he was to show me all the good places in Wisconsin.
I'm Karen's daughter, Kaya. I did not know Phil anywhere near as well. I appreciated so much his presence and hearing all the fun stories.
Secondhand, yeah.
Yeah, in the times that I did. I'm happy to be here with all of you, honoring his life.
Well, you probably knew him better than I did, and to me he was a fellow human being. And that's all I needed.
Tom was a character, one of the caregivers with Common Heart. Going to say something?
Yeah, I knew Phil, but I didn't know him well. But I sure knew a lot about him. He was quite a character and quite an important player in my city, Madison, Wisconsin. And he was very, very much well loved. And just a really beautiful person. And I'm glad that he's having this little get-together with all these people that cared about him. And what a great way to go.
Yeah.
All wrapped up in Muslim, going natural. That's what he would have wanted.
For sure.
If anyone has anything else to say, if not, I have kind of silly things.
Well, before we hoist you in there, Phil, I want you to know that Maisie or guard calf misses you.
Oh.
So I retooled a poem by somebody named Mary Elizabeth Fry. I have to be able to read it right here. And the only parts that are hers are the first and last phrases. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am the determined mountain biker whooshing by. I am the creator of the savory pot roast so carefully jammed into the Dutch oven. I am the political gadfly buzzing in your ear. I am the delicious cardamom coffee cake causing your bellyache. Phil would make an entire coffee cake and then he'd come over holding his stomach and say, "Can you help me with this?" Because he would have eaten like most of it. I am the passionate person hyperbolically describing the things they love or find amazing. I am the excited math tutor. I am the devourer of bowls of ice cream. I am the generous friend greeting you with joy. I am the one who cannot think of your name. I am the steadfast ally working for a common cause. I am the brilliant one you listen to and think, huh? What's he talking about? I am the Scrabble competitor who plays maybe not words and intimidates you with, "Are you challenging me?" I am the classical piano player who will never quite perfect the one piece he ever plays despite a million run-throughs. He played the same piece. I never heard him play anything else like over and over and over again. So if anyone has anything like that they want to add, the last phrase is, "Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die."
I remember reading words from Hemingway, and I thought it would be appropriate for Phil. I understand he was not a religious man, but Phil embraced nature. He accepted life's cycle, accepted the cycle of the seasons, the snow-covered fields, and the excitement of a winter blizzard, the warming of the earth and the many shades of green in the springtime, the long, hot, lazy days of summer, but best of all, he loved fall. Mother Nature's vivid paintings everywhere, red, yellow leaves falling to earth, floating on rivers and streams, and above a clear blue autumn sky. Now Phil is part of it forever.
Phil did love to get in the car in the worst weather and think it was hilarious to try to drive around in a snowstorm. Blizzard, not just snowstorm. Oh, sorry.
I remember him when I was taking care of him in the morning. It was a sunny day. You come out to the kitchen and you look out on this big tree in the backyard and he would be ecstatic.
I missed one of my
Up
lines.
until,
I am the squirrel
the last
patron.
couple months.
He loved the squirrels.
You even let him in the house. It was like, okay.
The patron saint of squirrels. So, anybody else?
We forgot bananas.
Yes. Oh my gosh. He was full of bananas.
Is that part of the bond
He
between
loved-
him and Grandma?
He loved bananas.
I remember that. And I remember telling him, I enlisted in the Air Force out of high school, and I went in for my preliminary exam, and I was a beanpole back then. I weighed 139 pounds. And the recruiter said, for your height, you need to be 142 pounds by Monday. This was Friday. And I asked my mother, what do I do? And she said, eat bananas. And I did, and Monday morning I was 143. I remember telling Phil that when I saw him put away 2 or 3 in a row one time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I told him up at the VA hospital, I said, you put a case of bananas in there and Phil's going to be a happy camper.
He probably liked banana splits because he liked ice cream too, didn't he?
I think we should all acknowledge Carl's role in Phil's last couple years, because he could not have had the life he had without you, Carl. No way.
That
It
was,
was my honor.
it was a wonderful thing. You didn't have to sit in a little rabbit hutch somewhere.
It's a true and profound friendship, I'd say.
Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah, like the fire that ice cream thing.
I had it first. I think I
So Phil was close to our mother, and she also loved ice cream.
Oh, you got one more?
Don't fall into
tried to find it. I have it. I mean,
Thanks for doing this. You send it to Carol that night. Anybody else?
Here, it says here, could it, but it,